is your will, my master?
Hey, what's up, Tom? Quick demo video for you for your 89 Sabers Mace Windu. Move some stuff out of the way. Just got this done today. This is installed with a CFX. It's also got a Bluetooth module in it, and it's a removable battery. For anybody who is familiar with this saber, that is a lot to cram into this guy. There's not a lot of room in this handle. I actually wasn't sure if I'd be able to do it, but I was able to get it done. And then also we'll be going into a little bit of install detail for Isabel over at Kashyyyk Customs, because I'm sending her this exact chassis. So I'm just going to talk about some things that I did to make it work. But you've got CC Sabers in there for your main PCB. So this is a lit PCB connector, maybe a little something different than what you're used to. It is for NeoPixel, but those LEDs in there light up even when there's not a blade in, so it will light a blade plug for you. 2-button setup. So there's 3 boxes here, but your two side boxes are switches, right? So over here and then over here as well. When these switches are facing up, the switch on the left hand side is activation, and the one on the right hand obviously is auxiliary. But how you get to everything is you just want to unscrew the handle. Handle slides right off just like this. You've got a KR Sabers 22mm speaker here in the back. You've got your removable battery setup right here, so spring side over here, and then your CFX board is right there. It is adhesed down to the shelf. I don't like to do that unless I have to, but I did have to on this. There's quite a few wires underneath it, and I needed it to stay in place. But you can see your SD card from there, and you can pop it in and out with your finger like that from right here. So you can do whatever you need to do, and the board never has to move. To make this work, I did have to bring my 2 switch wires on top of the board. That is also something I try not to do if I can help it. I like to have all the wires underneath so you can't see them. But these had to come up top, so I just made them as neatly as I could, right? Come over there to their respective pads. It says Solo Sabers over here for me in Arabic, and then there is a shout out to Samuel L. Jackson right here in Arabic. You can translate that and then let me know if you know what it says. To install the actual chassis now, this is so this part is for Isabel. The Bluetooth is in here, obviously. You can't see it. It's part of the neck of the chassis. So if you choose not to use it, you don't have to. It's not something that you'll ever see, right? So it's just there in case you want to use it. My wire paths underneath here, they go on either side of the battery channel. They're modeled, there's holes for wire paths on either side, and they go in. So when I send you these battery contacts, which I did already, they look like this, right? These are pretty typical for what I use. I mean, this is the only thing I use really. That little tab right there on the bottom, just break it off. I don't even use that. A lot of people try to bend that a certain way and wire to it. You don't need to do that. Just take that tab, snap it off, and then you can solder to the back of the pad. But you don't want your wire coming straight off of your battery tab. You're gonna have to figure out what side or which wire channel you want to use, and you're going to have to wire your wire or solder your wire to that side of your battery contact to get it to fit in. That's how that's done. If you can see that in the light, you can see that white wire coming off diagonally off of my terminal, and that's what I did there, right? And then snake it through and you'll be good to go. And that's pretty much it for this chassis. You know, I did have to adhese the board down. That if you pay attention to those side wire paths, and then if you do those couple of things, you'll be fine, because there's enough room under this board on both sides for plenty of wire to sit underneath the board, but it has to be on one side or the other. You can't have wire sitting under this board in the middle and have it poking out right here, because the battery won't fit. I mean, the Saber's that tight. That's why I had to bring my switch wires on top, because those switch wires are kind of in the middle of the board, so it wouldn't work. It wouldn't have worked if they were underneath the board. All right, so back to Tom. We'll throw a battery in this guy and we'll fire it up. Battery's nice and tight in here. It's meant to be that way. So just snap it in, throw the handle on, activation. You got your LEDs firing up there. Auxiliary. I'll hold it down for blade lock upright. And you see that here too. We'll turn it off and we'll throw a blade in it. This takes a 7/8 inch blade. We'll fire up the blade and then we will fire up the Bluetooth. You want to make sure that screw is out of the blade socket, which it is not. You've got a very small blade retention screw right here, right? So you want to pay attention to that. Make sure you don't lose that too, because it is tiny. And we'll tighten this up. Now to change color, you just hold aux and twist, and it changes. There's a purple blade right here. It may not pick up very well on camera, but purple for mace. Big flash on clash. Blade lock up. Now this has the stock font package on it. So to get to your font, you just want to hold down auxiliary.
Sound bank selection.
Nightfall.
And then we can cycle up or down with either button.
Crystal focus.
Crystal focus.
Nebula. Nebula.
Grainy.
Off. Revolt. Shatterpoint.
You find when you like, just hold the button down.
He's cloned Starkiller in massive numbers. He's building an army.
Sound bank selection.
We're going to go back a few.
Revolt. Off.
Grainy.
Nebula.
We're going to stop here. Now we're going to, I'm going to fire this up with the Bluetooth module. Of course, you know you need a force sync app, but I think you were telling me that you had it already, so you're good to go there. You should not have to use a password with CFX. So if it asks you for a password, just hit pair. Don't even put anything in. And we'll come to this screen, right? We'll tap CFX. Go to remote control. Turn it on. Flash, right? Swing. Lock up. So lock up, you hit it once. It's locking up. Hit it again. It'll turn it off. Just like that. So your Bluetooth is working like it should, right? You can see your buttons there. I'm not hitting anything. Turn it off just like that. And then we'll go over taking the battery out, which is super simple to do. We'll take this blade out. Obviously, this is just a little test blade for 7/8 that I've got laying around to test sabers, but it is programmed for a full-length blade. And we'll pop it out just like that. And then we want to unscrew the handle. You will notice on this particular saber that this guy right here will rotate. I chose not to glue it down. I don't like to glue parts down if I don't need to, but it's not going anywhere. It is locked between this inner core and the outer shell. It has to be unscrewed in two different places for the shell to come off. And then after you do that, this comes off. So this is nice and locked down, but it will spin, okay? But come over here from the positive side of your battery, which is by the speaker, and you can pop it out with your finger just like that. And that is pretty much your Mace Windu. Let me know if you got any questions. Isabel, let me know if you got any questions. And if not, I will get this out probably Monday because I've got one more saber I need to fix for you. All right. Thanks, man.